Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana formally tabled the rates bill in Parliament on Thursday, which proposes to maintain VAT at 15% from the 1st of May. This after he announced that the proposed VAT hike of 0.5 percentage points would not go ahead after negotiations with other political parties. Our parliamentary reporter Bulelani Phillip is at the national legislature to unpack the way forward.
A warm welcome here at Parliament. We are just standing outside the National Council of Provinces, of course talking all things budget and trying to understand what is the next step that Parliament will be undertaking in terms of doing the adjustments that were announced by the Minister earlier this week. Of course, just yesterday, the Parliamentary internal papers published the rates bill, and we'll get a sense of what that means for Parliament and where that process is going to take us. Joining me in this conversation is Dr. Dumisani Janjis, who is the Executive Director of the Parliamentary Budget Office. You obviously don't speak for Parliament. For the benefit of our viewers again, can you explain to us what is your role in Parliament?
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Bulelani. Yes, we don't speak on behalf of Parliament, but the role of Parliamentary Budget Office is really to advise Parliament on the budget process and how, when they process the budget instruments. We provide advice in terms of the Money Bills Act, which established the office. That's really a sense of what we do, what to consider, what some of the issues, and so on.
All right, just earlier this week, the Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana announcing that he's going to reverse the proposal of a VAT hike. He's also said that he's going to table the rates bill to Parliament, which I understand that was done yesterday. Where to from now?
Yes, you're correct. Yesterday, the rates bill, it's a long name, just shortened for rates bill, was tabled yesterday. And what happens is that when the document is tabled in the National Assembly, it gets referred to relevant committees. So the rates bill as it is, it will be referred to finance committees, which deals with the tax and revenue matters on behalf of Parliament, committees for both houses. But of course, the context here is in relation to the budget was presented in March last month, which it set out as fiscal framework, definition of revenue, and appropriations bill. So the rates bill really is to give effect to announcements that the minister said to say this revenue changes that will take place. It largely talks about all the rates, tax rates in our system, either be VAT, PIT, insurance, incentives, all other forms of taxes. Any changes to that will give effect by the rates bill once approved by Parliament.
A lot of confusion, both from analysts and as well as commentators, around of whether does the announcement of the minister that reverses the VAT hike become applicable rather on the 1st of May. Can you just give us a sense from the PBO office? Is that announcement applicable on the 1st of May, or will we have to wait for the approval of the rates bill?
Remember, the process has always been, over the years, experience that when the minister make announcements, let's take a step back. The minister is obviously guided by the Public Financial Management Act and VAT Act in the specific sense, in terms of how he announces and make changes and so on. So the Parliament only entertain these bills once they tabled in Parliament. So what has happened is that he's made announcements in line with the powers that he has in terms of the laws that guides him, and that is in line with what he is required to do. But what has happened over the years is that the revenue bills have often been considered later on in the year, and many instances because of, let's talk about VAT for example, the Act does give Minister to give effect to any changes for 12 months to give Parliament space to give effect to that. Coming back to your point, I think they will remember that the Minister has made announcements in March that the VAT will increase in line with the laws that supports him, and then what normally happens, such announcements have to be given effect to by these bills, like now the rates bill. But also now, yesterday, he did make announcements that, again, in line with what power that supports him, that the VAT will remain the same. We looked at it yesterday, the rates bill. Indeed, the VAT will remain the same, and other matters like your tax bracket will not be adjusted. And so there is those provisions as announced in the budget in March, but also even yesterday. So in terms of that prerogative, that bill will go to Parliament, as I say, and the finance committees. So our understanding and experience in terms of the law, the VAT then will revert to what the minister has announced yesterday, or at least what is announced in the rates bill, which in terms of the rates bill is sitting at 15%. So it seems to means from the 1st of May, the VAT, in terms of the act, in terms of the bill, in terms of the minister's announcement, to remain 15%, not 15.5%.
Okay, I want us to put it in simple terms so that our viewers at home can understand this correctly. The narrative that you need to pass the rates bill in order to give effect to the reversal, are you saying it's wrong? In other words, are you saying that come the 1st of May, the VAT will remain at 15%? I want us to do it in simple terms.
Okay, I'm trying to explain here because I know this is a very contentious issue, so I'm trying to not to be overly simplistic, but also understand the dynamics around it. What I'm saying is that the Minister of Finance has a power given to him by Public Financial Management Act and VAT Act to make changes and to make announcements. So what I'm saying is that in terms of the announcement he's made yesterday morning and followed through by the bill, he's made announcements that the VAT will remain 15%. In terms of the law that governs him and powers he have, it has to be given effect to. Obviously, the second part which you're asking is whether there has to be the bill passed yet. The VAT Act says he has 12 months to give effect to that. I mean, to Parliament to its 12 months to be able to pass that. So then it will remain 15% as it was until such a time whether there are changes by Parliament or whatever the case may be. But of course, in this case, it's just reverting back to where it was originally, which again, it's rescinding the previous amendments by giving this other amendment. So in my sense, my understanding, that's what the law allows the minister to do. And my understanding, again, in terms of the law and the processes of budget process which we advise on, the VAT will be set at 20% until any further changes takes place. Because now we have the bill in front of Parliament. Parliament can change the bill, which has to follow the money bills process if there are any changes that will be taking place.